New Year's don't pass and you still ain't did nothing about your body. You signed up for the gym, you went one time if you even went. Now spring here and you just sitting around eating, blaming it on COVID. Oh, it's COVID. Now the summer gonna be here and you still gonna be sloppy, out of shape, and unhealthy. Girl, if you gonna sit up and eat some of this damn tea. Drop down in the description box and click the link below to purchase this and other fine products. Nessa girl, I had to get you back on the line for something that's about as flat as them damn housewives. These medicine wives, child. Anila ain't here for heavenly shit, and Toya done told all Eugene business. And what was the real tea between Quad and Heavenly? Wanna talk about it? Here you go. Nessa girl, you know, I'm back from vacation. I was gone all last month. And I said this month I gotta make all the money. So I'm trying to give y'all videos every day for all the days. Don't hold me to it. I said I'ma try. With a lowercase t, not a capital. Nevertheless, you got into these medical holes. Listen, medicine-wise, we just gonna let y'all have this season as a filler. And we get, you know, every show with multiple and continuing seasons. Every season is not going to be blockbuster. But we're going to need y'all to regroup and really bring us the teas when it comes to next season. But in the meantime, in between time, I guess I got to talk about the little bit that we got. So here you go. The episode opens up with Heavenly doing what Heavenly does best, sticking her foot in her damn mouth. And she called Anila a puppy or a muppet. Baby, when Anila clapped back and said, well, which Muppet are you, little piggy? Bitch, Heavenly shut her goddamn mouth. Let me tell you something. Heavenly and people like her, believe it or not, they respect you more when you give it back to their ass. Heavenly thought Anila was just going to sit there and take that shit. When Anila clapped back, honey, Heavenly sat down and ate her damn food. That's right, bitch. Eat your food and stop calling people names. Disrespectful helper. Carrie shows up with her sexy, thin ass. And she called Damon Daddy. And Heavenly said, don't call my man Daddy. I'm the only one who's Dr. Damon to you. Baby, when she said Dr. Damon Daddy, I fell out laughing. I said, get it, Carrie. Heavenly done got twice that damn night. And is it me? Or Simone was laughing a little extra hard when Anila said the Miss Piggy thing. It was like, I mean, let's call this shit what it was. Simone, you was throwing the jab. This shit was not that damn funny. Simone had a gut-busting laugh, and the girl Simone cut it out. It was funny, but it wasn't that funny. You was being messy, and not saying that Heavenly ass don't deserve it from time to time. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm just saying you was being extra. Donkey Kong in the flesh, Pastor Holy Whore, showed up. Look, listen. Let me tell you something, quiet as it's kept. Heavenly always talking about her man and how she don't want no other cheating bitch in her man face and all this going on. You need to keep your man from around this friend group, because let's talk about what all the hell done going on. Curtis done cheated on Jackie. Cecil was screwing that humpback whale Tammy, allegedly. Scott might be cheating on Contessa. And Jamal Bryant cheat on everybody. It's more cheaters in the damn circle than it is upstanding, outstanding men. Eugene ain't cheating because don't nobody want him to cheat with. And Anila husband ain't cheating because Indian men don't cheat. I don't know, child. I'm just making shit up at this point. I don't even know no Indian men. But until I find one that cheat, Indian men don't cheat. So I think. Who else man left in there? And then Dr. Heavenly man. Dr. Damon ain't gonna cheat because Heavenly too damn crazy. Heavenly will cut the man's toes off to send his ass back to work or whatever. So he ain't gonna cheat. He'll probably just sit around and watch them cheat and keep his mouth closed about it or whatever the case may be. You gotta watch out for quiet people too, because keeping secrets is just as messy as telling them. I'm just saying. So Robin and Giselle walk in. It was great to see some cross promotion between the shows. And they sit down at the table and they all start talking about marriage problems or whatever. And Giselle did the same thing to Lisa Nicole that got her ass in the hot seat with Monique. You don't know Lisa Nicole like that to be saying out loud at a table full of women, you and your husband were having problems too, right? Like, I'm just gonna write it off to making TV, okay? That's just what I'm gonna have to do, because I refuse to believe in real life that people carry on like that. Like, that's so not none of your business. You don't know me like that, and it's borderline disrespectful. So I'm gonna give it to Giselle. Giselle came to the scene, and she had to break up the scene, or whatever the case may be. But then Contessa get up there, get to talking in riddles and carrying on. And Giselle says, so are you experiencing infidelity? Is your husband cheating? Either Giselle or somebody said it. And Contessa said, I don't know what anybody's doing. Okay, let's stop right there and talk about it. I think the average response from the average woman would be, hell nah, my husband ain't out there cheating. He better not be. Contessa said, I don't know what he's out there doing. That says to me that there's a little doubt in the house of the Metcalfs. Now, I've met Scott. I think Scott's a great person. I love Contessa, and I want their marriage to continue ever on. But we getting some signals and some signs that all might not be well in the Metcalf household. We hope it is. And they've been going through some issues ever since Contessa decided she wanted to be the doctor to the world and carry her ass back to Nashville. Now that that's done, Scott can stop throwing it in her face, and she just started throwing it bike. She did come home and start throwing that thing bike, so they could get back on track, okay? Because we need them to be together with a strong black medical household, so they could be the new age Hustables. I thought it was great when the men talked about when they first met their woman, and Damon said the minute he met Heavenly, he knew. And Eugene went to talking, and then I wish they would have gone around the room and told everybody's story, but I guess some of them love stories was boring. Is it me? Or did y'all find Toya talking to Anila about her finances just comical? That whole scene was just comical to me because it felt as if Toya was giving Anila real-time advice for things that Toya is still guilty of. Like, Toya, you're still guilty of spending lavishly. You're still guilty of spending the money faster than Eugene can make it, running the man into the ground. Word on the curb is it's partly financial while y'all are moving out of that house. Because even with the level of appreciation in the neighborhood, once you move, factor in realtors' fees, the expenses of moving, you really ain't gaining anything. It's worth a headache. You'd only be gaining peace of mind if you need relief from that house note. I'm just telling you what the people done told me. Nevertheless, it was just odd. Now, some people would argue that Toya would be the perfect person to tell Anila what's going on because she's been through it. And I would be willing to agree if Toya has bounced back and like doubled their finances and their net worth and their income since said incident. It feels as if Toya is the same Toya today that she was a couple damn seasons ago when they were in financial trouble. So with that being said, I will pass on taking financial advice from Toya. There's just certain things that certain people can't tell me about. I look at Dave Ramsey. I talk to Susie Orman. I even talk to Voodoo Priestess Iyanla Van Zandt about the hope and the dreams and the spirits of my finances before I talk to Toya Nutbush Harris. Heavenly preparing a meal for her family. Everybody know Heavenly don't cook, but they say she fuck good. That's what the people say. Hell, that's why David stayed. But Heavenly is my definition of what the modern family looks like. I don't give a damn if you cook the food or you went and picked it up, just as long as when I'm ready to sit down at the table and eat, it's hot, it's nutritious, and it's ready. You know, I got a lot of friend girls that are in marriages right now where their husbands get an attitude if they cater food or go pick up something from Boston Market. And it's not even about taste, it's just something about them having these ideals of wanting the woman to cook it. Which I don't quite understand. I mean, at the end of the day, the net effect is zero. Whether you picked it up from Boston Market or the kids' favorite restaurant or you cooked it, the net effect is zero. The end result in either scenario is a full belly with no nutrients and nourishment to sustain the body. So I'm not understanding what the whole hang up is. I don't even want to try to understand, but at least Heavenly provided. Now that was a very interesting scene at the table. We rarely get to see Heavenly's boys on the show, especially Zachary. He doesn't come around. In recent years, he's been coming around a little more or whatever. And it was hard for them listening to Damon tell their story. Hell, it was very hard and uncomfortable for me. You can even see the pause on Alora's face, you know, having Damon describe someone putting a gun to his head with everything that's going on with the George Floyd and so on and so forth. You know, I think it got very real, especially for Damon Jr., just trying to visualize somebody putting a gun to his father's head, especially considering the fact that we know that Dr. Damon is a gentle giant. Dr. Damon is so nice. He's so even-keeled and well-tempered and rational, and everybody loves Dr. Damon. So to think that some asshole would do this to America's favorite doctor, that's kind of messed up, and it hurt all of our feelings. But it was a very important story to tell because bad things happen to good people too, and that's what that story illustrated. Jackie invites Heavenly over, and then she tells Heavenly Quan is going to be there. And then Heavenly wants to bring Anila. That was cute or whatever. And you know what? Now that I know the way things were shaking out with the relationships in terms of people trying to build squads or whatever, it was a very smart move on Heavenly's behalf to divide and conquer. It was very smart. It was like, okay, let me break up this shit because I see what Toya trying to do. She trying to build a squad with Lisa Nicole, Anila, and Carrie. And, you know, I'm going to play psychological warfare with the bitch, too. Let me break up the scene real quick. Let me call Anila and get to know her on her own and kind of sway her over here because our side more cool than that side anyway. And lo and behold, that's exactly what ended up happening. And bitch Simone caught the shit. Simone walked in and she caught the shit. So you could already tell by how far Simone was taken aback that there had already been conversations about lines being drawn about who's on what side. And Anila had to renege because Simone was like, and then to say, does Toya know you're here? You know, y'all got to stop it with the third grade theatrics for me. Why must Toya know she's there? Even if Toya didn't, so what? Anila has the right to foster whatever relationship she wants to with whomever. And I was talking to some people over the weekend. I'm this type of person. Do not introduce me to any of your friends. Bring me to a birthday dinner. I hit it off with people. And then have the expectation that the only way I'm allowed to interact with these people is if you're part of the equation. I'm a grown-ass person. I'm a grown-ass person who is capable of maintaining friendships with multiple people across multiple friend groups. Don't invite me around no bitches that you fall out with them and expect me to fall out with them too. That ain't how I roll. Now, if a bitch just straight up 2 times you went in there and fucked your man and ran over your dog, that's a whole nother situation. We may have to go fight that hoe and I might have to run behind you on that. But if it's just we was friends and now we beefing and now you expect me to stop beefing, get your childish ass the fuck away from me and off my line and don't call back here no more with that bullshit. Okay? And that's what it is. That's just what it's going to be. Contessa meets with Regina about getting her business together. This was a very good look for Regina. And I love how Contessa bigged her up and said Regina's name was going around town. She is the go-to person if you're trying to open up a medical practice. Shouts out to you, Regina. Regina looked like she knew what the hell that was going on. I fuck with anybody named Regina with a shortcut, baby. Okay, Regina looked like she know what the hell going on. I'm going to tell you how Regina know what the hell going on because she ain't got no time to be sitting in no damn salon. That's why that hair's short. Okay, she got to get it and go. She got to get it and go, honey. What it is? Get it and go. Because she got to help these people open up these damn medical practices. I love it. I love when a person is a subject matter expert in their field. And Regina looked like she had it going on. Jackie's new house. When the chef was describing the food that they was having, is it me? Or did chicken salad deviled eggs sound good, baby? I had to ask Quad, Heavenly, and Anila the other day, how did the chicken salad deviled eggs taste? And I don't think Heavenly and Quad remember that Anila said they were okay. That shit sounds good. And last but not least, they get down to the thing and Quad and Heavenly get to fighting. Now listen, I was sitting in Heavenly dental chair when that post came across with Quad and the emojis and the booty or whatever. I also looked at the episode and saw Quad say she didn't understand the emojis or whatever, and she said she misconstrued the emojis for the hand over the face. Now I was with Quad this past weekend. We were sitting down having lunch, and she showed me the clip, and she said, "What do you think about this clip?" I said, "Well, you're my friend, and so if you say you misconstrued the emoji, I have no choice but to take your word for face value, but I'm going to be honest with you. It sounds like bullshit." I was like, it sounds like a convenient response. It sounds like bullshit. And her rebuttal was, "I don't read emojis," or whatever the case may be. And so we had an opportunity to sit down and talk to her and told her why she went so strong, because Quad did use some damn lethal hashtags towards Dr. Heavenly and they supposed to be friends. And she said that basically she was fed up because Heavenly had been on the YouTube talking shit about her. And so following suit, she assumed that this was another one of Heavenly's shit talking sessions. And from Heavenly's vantage point, it wasn't. So because Quad had already had some built up, pent up frustration, she was scratching her chest about the shit that Heavenly was saying. Like she ain't had no man, she ain't had no job, some of the other stuff Heavenly was saying out her mouth. Miss Quad was fed up and she went for the jugular. Luckily, they was able to fight it out and get back on solid ground or whatever the case may be, the way Jackie and Simone need to. But that's what it was. That's what the people say. Anyway, y'all, I got to go to the Gucci store and pick up my shoes that just came in. I got to run a couple more errands, and then I need to get in here and watch polls. I'm trying to do all of that before Cinco de Mayo, bitch. Because the bitch finna go out here and get real margarita down. Hunty! For the fajita all in my belly. Nevertheless, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, and I call y'all later. Bye. Margarita me, please. A whole picture.